Alright everyone, welcome to unboxing. I actually was a little bit more flush than I was expecting. I was out of beer and I did an impromptu beer order whilst I was in work. And we're going over to House of Trembling Madness. Always reliable. It's just a really quick spare of the moment thing, so I didn't even have the opportunity to ask if anybody wanted anything, because I'm just a selfish prick at the end of the day anyway, so might as well stay on brand. And yeah, I'm sure people will be saying, oh, what, they had this on, why didn't you buy that, blah 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 blah. I don't do any research. It just, if the beer sounds appealing, if it's a hoppy beer and the hop bill sounds good, I'll end up buying it. As always, I try and avoid getting the same breweries that I always buy, but that didn't happen. So I really think I need to actually do a few months of Bruiser, even though I've had ample opportunity to get a good discount on my first box, yada yada yada, but that's just not coming to fruition. And that'd be a good way to just, don't get like a Verdant box, don't get like a Daya box or a Cloudwater box or a Baron box. Get from a brewery that either you've never heard of before or a brewery that you very seldom purchase from. Doing it at a slightly different angle. Hopefully I don't look as fat, even though I'm basically slouched over, sat on the bed. And yeah, it is what it is. And as always, we'll bring it up in every video. I'm severely neglecting the channel at the moment. I've got videos that are ready to go that I think could still be relevant. I've recorded or began recording a lot of beer reviews, but didn't really get anything out of the beers that I was drinking, so I thought I'm not uploading that. And yeah, so I've got a bit more of a QC process going on in terms of what beers actually make it on the channel. The quality of the channel itself is, much like this room, a disorganised mess and severely neglected. So yeah, it's all unboxed. Cracking service, as always. I didn't just go to the £70 threshold. I thought just, hopefully I can cut down over the next few weeks so I can save some of these beers and build up a nice little stockpile. Like, it seems like everyone else I know always has decent beer. Maybe because I've just fallen into that habit of having like 1 or 2 beers after I've come home from work. And with the weather every 2 days of the week being nice, just gets you in the mood, doesn't it? Anyway, enough waffling, and let's waffle about the beers. So we've got 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Nearly said 24 because I'm an idiot. And but slightly annoyed with myself. Hang on. 8, 16, 20. There's space for 4 more cans. Anyway, I won't dwell on that because I will get frustrated. It's like when I do a beer order and realise I've ordered like 7 or 9, and it's just like, round it up to an even number. Or just be like a normal person, just get a 6-pack. That's my policy when I go to like bottle shops, just pick 6 things up. Anyway, shut up. So, first of all, because I'm an absolute slag, and even the last couple of years of me drinking this beer saying, oh, this brewery actually does better, you know, just out of the blue, IPAs and double IPAs. But we've got the triple version of Putty. Hopefully you can see that. Hopefully it's not blurry. Hopefully it's focused correctly. My eyes are terrible, so I can't actually see. It looks sharp from here, but then again, a small image always looks sharper. So yeah, pick this up solely because, and we'll get round to it, I enjoyed this year's Putty, but you know, I think I said it in my review, which I hopefully uploaded. Verdant can brew high quality, flavoursome double IPAs. But I respect the fact that they've got this beer that gets people interested, people look forward to it. I like that side of things, so I'm not going to be one of these people who overly criticises the beer. I picked up a few beers from Beak, because I was almost tempted to do another Beak order, but I decided not to, because they don't allow you to use Klarna to pay for your beer. And this is a can of Follow, which is a double dry hop pale, 5% ABV. Quintessential Beak style artwork there. Brewed with Citra, Ella and Simcoe. Then we've got a brewery that I always see, but for some reason I never buy the stuff. But if on the few occasions I'm socially, not anxious and I get out the house, and it's on cask, I think from what I remember, they're a very good cask brewery. And yeah, so it's a can from Abbeydale, and this is Sheffield Rocks, which is a dry hopped heritage pale ale. And the one thing I really like about Abbeydale is like the hand illustrated designs. I can't read that, so I don't know what makes it a heritage pale. Maybe there's like an historical element to it, or they're using quintessentially British hops. I think I've used the word quintessentially twice already in this video. And also, as I'm recording this, rest in peace Gene Hackman, who played as Popeye in William Friedkin's sensational adaptation of French Connection. What a great film that is. So, rest in peace. 95 years old. I don't want to make it to 95. Then we've got, again, another brewery that I just never seem to buy any of their beers, and it's Atom. And very fitting name of the beer in this political climate. Conspiracy Theory, which is a Citra and Ruwaka IPA. Really like the Illuminati artwork there. Tiled Illuminati. Then I made a mistake. I accidentally ordered 2 cans of Outliers number 1 from Beak, which is part of a new series that they're doing. And the first one is a US ESB, brewed in collaboration with Concrete Blues, who I think is a guy from... You can't say think when it's written on the can. A guy who, British, and moved over to Philadelphia. So yeah, a 3.5, hang on a minute. Oh, he's known for his legendary 3.5% pub ale. And this is a 5.8% US ESB. So I picked up 2 cans of that. Really like the photographic label there. Plus, if it's a good USB, you're not in a bad situation if you've got 2 high quality USB, did I say? ESBs. Then we've got a glass case of emotion, reference to Anchorman, and one of the few beers from this brewery where I actually get the pop culture reference, because they're very good at it. And it's Pomona Island, and this is an IPA. Now, I'm not going to lie, for a long time, I just didn't really like a lot of the beers that I was drinking from Pomona Island. It just seems to be like a lot of beers coming out at once. But because I'm not a child and I like to be proven wrong, started drinking their beers again. Really, really good. And the pub that they've got in Manchester is just fantastic. It's a beautiful... It's got this sort of like classic pub come wanky, business wine bar sort of aesthetics, and every time I'm there with Mersey Beers, he just buys a stupid big bottle of like Imperial Stout. But yeah, so the last few Pomona Island beers I've had have been really, really good, so I apologise Next up, not had a beer from these for ages, and this just sounded remarkable. Hopefully it is remarkable, and that's the Pink Lemonade Radler from Left Handed Giant, 2.5% ABV. Last time I had a craft Radler, it was very, very poor and just tasted like a really badly brewed sour beer. I think that was a collaboration between Northern Monk and Queer Brewing. Yeah, it just wasn't good. It just wasn't a satisfying beer, but hopefully I do like the flavours of like pink lemonade. So looking forward to that. That'd be nice when the weather picks up a bit more. Then I've gone for another Manchester brewery, Lincoln from Pomona, not Left Handed Giant, of course. And this is the Third Birthday Pale, 3% ABV Pale Ale. And brewed with Ruwaka T90, Amplifier Oil, Ricau T90, Mosaic BBC, and Galaxy T90. It just sounded to me like the most satisfying of the birthday beers that they brought out. Then we've got, again, another brewery who don't drink hardly any of their beers, even though I should, and I'm very seldom disappointed when I do. And a massive, massive shout out to Blue Nose Beer Reviews, who had his finger well and truly on the pulse. And that's not just because he sexually assaulted a minor. That's a terrible... That joke didn't even work. I almost feel guilty for saying that about Mr. Blue Nose. But when Baron first came out, I think he did a sizable order direct from the brewery, and then kindly gifted myself and Mersey Beers some beers. So this is Fred, a 6% IPA. And again, I just love how simple, it's just simple illustrations, black and white. I just love it. I love it. I love any sort of hand-drawn, I mean hand-drawn illustration. That's, an illustration is drawn, isn't it? But that's, when we went to vectors and things like that, and no, I like it when the illustrations are perfectly imperfect, if that makes sense. So yeah, just fantastic. I just love the look of this can. And so hops are Crush, Citra Cryo, and Simcoe T90. Sounds like a good combination to me. Plus 500ml can, you can't go wrong. Speaking of 500ml cans, this is, I think it's the latest in the Dilated Particles series from Rivington. Dilated Particles Blossom Espresso, 5% coffee stout. Really enjoyed this series up to this point. And yeah, very much looking forward to cracking into that. I've not had a good coffee beer for a while. Then we've got another strong bitter, this time from Full Circle Brew Co. Again, another brewery, yet to have a bad beer. Hardly pick up this stuff. The only times I've really picked the stuff up is the ones that are available in supermarkets. That dirty word. But yeah, Goose Chase, strong bitter. So for the canteen, maybe we've got a nice head-to-head there with the Beak one. Who knows? Probably not. Then we've got another beer from Pomona, and this is Fort Toluco IPA with a very phallic rocket on the cover. Is it a rocket? I think so. I thought it was a bobsled then for a minute. Brewed with Cryo Mosaic, Cryo Idaho 7, Equinox, and Citra. Erected in 2025, of course, yeah. But again, don't know what the cultural reference is there. Wefflins, Jonathan Ross. Just because it's cheap and I like it, got myself another can of Pabst Blue Ribbon. Love it. Absolutely love it. Then we've got Polly's, and this is Uncanny Valley IPA at 6% ABV. I'm really liking Polly's artwork. Just very, very nice. Picturesque. Good vibes. Then we've got a brewery that I don't know if I've ever had anything from these, but it's Bullhouse Brew Co. And this is Rolling Papers, which is a hazy IPA. Brewery based out of Belfast. That was a terrible Irish accent. Because I'm a bit of a wanker, I had to get some US juice in there. So we've got a bit of Veil, and this is Imaginary Kiss, or is it Imaginary Kiss, or is it Imaginary Kiss? But yeah, I do like the Veil. Big fan of the Veil. Then we've got another beer from Beak, and this is Sap, which is a double IPA. Really pronounced my P's then. I just like that. That's, I mean, is that cream? Is it Philadelphia just spread? Or is it like plaster? I don't know. But this is brewed with Simcoe and Citra. Big fan of both those hops. Big fan of Beak. And then we've got, I don't know, this just... I could have got 2 or 3 beers for what I paid for this. But I love Cloudwater. I love triple IPAs. And this is their birthday triple IPA. A New Beginning. 10% ABV. Again, content-wise, because maybe we do a bit of head-to-head of some heavy hitters. But again, probably the more interesting of the Cloudwater birthday beers that they had available. So I thought I'll opt for that. And then last but by no means least, revisiting another brewery that I haven't drank from for a while, aside from maybe the old collaboration. And we've got a bit of Flock, and this is Wishlist Double Dry Hopped IPA, 6% ABV. So a very hop forward selection this time round. Just because even though I go on about how bored I do get of hoppy beers, sometimes you just get a massive craving for some, you know, hoppy goodness. And then we've also got some bits in there. We've got a macro lager from the US. Should do well, and if it stays nice today, might have a nice beer in the garden. But yeah, that should hopefully keep me going for a few weeks. Hopefully you'll see reviews of those at some point this year. We shall see. There's some potential, you know, head-to-heads or sort of like brewery showcase, especially with Beak, maybe. We don't know. I don't know. I know nothing. But yeah, it's always satisfying to get a big box of beer, isn't it? Really, let's be honest. Yeah, if you've tried any of them, let me know your thoughts, opinions down below. What beers should I have picked up from House Trembling Madness? Just let me know in the comments. Harass me. Do what you need to do. Anyway, House Trembling Madness, fantastic. Can never fault them. Even when I've made a big mistake, you know, they're really good about it. Anyway, and I make a lot of mistakes. So yeah, cheers for watching, and I shall hopefully see you later. And because it's on my mind now, I might try and get some videos scheduled for the next week or so. We'll see. Thank you. See you later. Bye. I ended that like it was a team meeting, and I'm just going to sit here for a few seconds so I know when to cut the end of the video, because I'm going to have to get up. And it's always, you can never do that gracefully to keep it in the video, can you? Anyway, bye.